on the trail to hike Sawmill Mountain. I'm trying to finish up the 6-pack of peaks for the year, so I decided to do Sawmill Mountain. And it's a winter wonderland out here. I did not expect this much snow, but try the hike regardless. Hopefully it's not too windy. Yeah, hopefully it's not, it's a little slippery here, but hopefully it's not too bad on the way up. Well, I'm getting a little ways into this hike, and the uphill isn't too bad. I could definitely use some micro spikes. It's pretty snowy and it's kind of packed down and slippery, but I seem to be doing okay as long as the grade of the mountain doesn't get too out of hand. From what I saw, this one's a pretty straight walk. I think the trailhead was around like 8,300 feet, and it only goes up and down kind of like to 8,600, so we're not really like climbing a mountain. It's more of a nice walk in the woods. So I think the snow is not going to be too big of an issue. It's really pretty out here, really still, really quiet. There's a wind warning today, which I'm hoping doesn't come whipping up over this mountain, because it was pretty bad on the drive in the valley. So I think I might be okay up here. Just gonna have to get into the hike a little further and see. So I was filming, and I missed my trail turn off here to get up to the top of Mount Pinos. There's a little side trail. Looks like this hasn't been traveled much, so I'm kind of breaking trail a little bit, which is okay. I figured it's a snowy trail, so by the end of the day I'm gonna have wet feet. But that's okay. Being from Wisconsin, this is pretty familiar territory. I used to do some winter hiking on the Ice Age Trail, and if you don't have snowshoes, you're coming back with wet feet, and that's all there is to it. So, I'm gonna make this climb up to the top of Mount Pinos, and then kind of assess whether I want to go to Sawmill or not. It's going to depend on how good or bad that trail is, because this part where it's single track here looks like there's been about one person who's walked on it. So we'll see how it goes. So that's a nice view over the other side there. As you can tell, that mountain over there has no snow on it. So these higher peaks are the only things that have gotten snow so far this year. It is the middle of November, so just that time of year when the snow starts coming in on the peaks. It's still hot down on the desert floor where I live at sea level. It's still, I think it's like a high of 72 maybe today. So It's crazy how the difference in height determines what the weather is, because there's about, man, at least 6 inches of snow up here in some spots where it's accumulated. This climb up to the top of Pinos here is looking kind of daunting in the snow, but we'll figure it out. We just made it to the top of Mount Pinos. There's a radio tower. This is the route I took up. You can see my tracks down there. Now the wind's really hitting me. I don't know if that was the trail, but it's like a straight route up, and I just did it, so I'm gonna look at my map now that I'm up here and see if I can figure out where it is to Mount, or Sawmill Mountain, not Mount Pinos. Looks like it's over here somewhere. That road that comes up here is back down there somewhere. This looks like the road here. I can see tracks. So I think I just jump back on the road and there's a split. I think Sawmill is right there. So I'm trying to figure that out. I'll catch up with you guys a little further down the trail. So here we have the Tuamate trailhead. There's a wildlife viewing area. This is where I split off to go to Sawmill. I guess you can see condors from up here a certain time of year. I don't know if this time of year is the best time to see condors, but there's a little picnic table. Nice sign. Talks about the California condor, great horned owl, black bear, chipmunks, mule deer, and some foliage, some buckwheat. This is about the only clear spot I've seen on the whole trail that doesn't have snow, is right here. It's a really nice view. Wow. I've never been this far north in the mountains in California, so this is my first time up here. Really enjoying it. I wish I would have came earlier in the year. So I definitely lost the trail for a minute and I started walking down that, assuming that's where the trail went, but I had to pay closer attention to the map and I found the trail. If there's no footprints, it's usually not where the trail is. This is definitely it though, because it's one of the only flat spots on this whole side of this little lookout point. And that sawmill over there, it looks like. I'm just gonna make it down into the valley here and back up that somewhere. So I'm on the last little stint here before Sawmill Mountain Peak. I'm not gonna lie, one of my least favorite things to hike in is snow. Snow and really rocky sections. And wind and rain, of course. Nobody likes that. And right now I'm dealing with snow and wind. My feet are soaked. I can hardly see the trail, so I'm having to look at my map every half mile or so just to make sure I'm not losing the trail. I just don't want to get lost out here. That would just make a really long day. And I'm trying to get back to the car as fast as I can after I take a little rest at the peak here, because there's still the climb back up Pinos. There's like a big dip, so you go do the gradual climb to Pinos and then you hike down to a saddle, and that was like switchbacks. It was pretty steep. And then I just did a climb back up here, and I can kind of see the top of Sawmill where I'm walking right now. It's a little flat here, but I can tell I gotta do the last climb here in a second. But yeah, this would have been an amazing hike without snow. I'm glad I'm doing it, but it just adds an extra element to the day that makes it that much more frustrating and challenging, which afterwards I'll look back on it fondly as a cool story, the time I bagged a peak in the snow. But while you're doing it, it is honestly not very enjoyable. I'm just putting my head down and trying to finish this off. Just wanted to finish the 6-pack of peaks challenge, so here I am. This is the one I picked. It seemed the easiest out of the remaining I had left that I could do. And the snow is adding an extra element of challenge that I didn't think it would. I'm gonna just do the push here to the peak, and I'll get back with some video once I get up there. Mountain peak. There's a sign. I'm gonna get down from there and really take a break at the peak, but it's too windy. It's ridiculous. Pretty amazing views all around. I'm on my way back to Mount Pinos. I'm down off of Sawmill. I'm just really happy right now that I decided to wrap up the 6-pack of peaks this year. And I was like dreading coming out and having to do one in the snow. But if I could do any of them in the snow, I'm glad it was this, because it was probably the most gradual as far as like inclines and declines. There's a few steep parts, and the snow makes it really tricky to go down. But I'm almost finished. It's I think about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so I should be getting back to my car by at least 2, which is kind of what I planned. The peak was cool. I want to come back and do this one in the summer when it's really nice out. It's just hiking in snow is so hard. It's every single step is your foot lands funny and goes in a direction you don't expect it to, and then you use a lot of muscles you're not used to using. So it's like extra tiring. I'm already just white, and I still have to climb back up to the top of Pinos and then back to the car. So I'm probably just gonna put my head down, try and knock it out. I'll maybe film a little bit by Pinos on the way back, but yeah, all in all, it's a really pretty area. If you want to hike in a beautiful forest up in some trees, this is a good place to come. All right, made it back to the car. Oh, that way down was tough. My legs are beat. I'm walking on slippery snow. I should have had micro spikes, but I didn't think it would be. I didn't think the entire trail would be snow. I mean, there's like 6 inches of snow up here, so. Oh, made it. 6-pack of peaks, 2022 complete. It's a good feeling. I'm ready to not hike for a while. We'll catch you guys on the next adventure, I guess. It'll be a while before I try something crazy again. So it's been fun filming all of this and putting it out there for people to see. And maybe people who can't do stuff like this can experience it through the videos I make, and I hope somebody gets something from it, if not some information about the trail. I mean, what it's like to do hikes that aren't your run-of-the-mill day hikes where you're carrying just a water bottle up, where you're, you know, hauling a pack with some extra gear and food, and sometimes having to use the bathroom outside. So there's a little more to it than 2 hours up and down. But I appreciate anybody who has watched these videos or liked them or subscribed to my channel. I'd like to get more subscribers because I love sharing this stuff with people. But again, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.